Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You know, without our veterans, we wouldn't even have a 4th of July. So it's always an honor to have our veterans here in the studio. Hank Whittier, who normally hosts this program called Veterans News, is not here today. Gary Pascal is sitting in his place. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Larry. That's a big shoes I got to fill this morning, huh?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm blessed.
Oh, good. I love that answer.
I believe we have some people on the line with casualties from the fire and the police.
Yes, sir. Well, I think, I can't remember who called first. Gosh, who do I have right now? Is it Ashley or Terry?
I think you got us both.
Okay, Terry, I got you. Okay, Terry, I'm sorry, you're first.
Good morning, Terry.
Okay. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed.
Good. Unfortunately, are we on ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. Unfortunately, we have one to report, and the one we have to report is Deputy Sheriff Jacob Calvin. And Jacob was with the Tipton County Sheriff's Office out of Indiana. His end of watch was June the 28th of this year. He was 31 years of age. He had served with that agency for 2 years and 6 months. Unfortunately, Jacob was killed in an automobile accident while responding to an accident. He was as a member of the United States Air Force also, so that's one notable event for him, unfortunately, that we had to report his death. That is the only one that we have.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Okay. And Gary, we have Ashley on the phone from Ocala Fire Rescue. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great.
I do have 2 fatalities to report. The first one is Todd Allen. He passed away on June 19th after 29 years of service, and he was actually a volunteer fire chief. And I have also Captain Robert Smith, who was 52 and passed after 30 years of service, and they both perished in a vehicular accident. Separate instances, but both happened to pass in crashes.
Our thoughts are definitely with the families of the law enforcement and the firefighters who give their lives so gallantly to help others. Unfortunately, too, we do have one Department of Defense reported casualty. He's a United States Marine. His name is Sergeant Thomas D. Spitzer. He was only 23 years old, and he was from New Braunfels, Texas, and he died on June 25th while conducting combat operations in Afghanistan. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families of the military, and we ask God to bless our soldiers serving in country and abroad.
Okay. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Okay. And we'll listen to Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
We'd like to just take a minute, Larry, to thank you folks here at WOCA Radio for bringing us the Veterans News Hour. And we want to just take a minute to thank our wonderful sponsors, that's Palm Chevrolet. And right now that they have a red, white, and blue sale going on for the 4th of July here, and it's going on right now. We've been instructed by General Motors to eliminate hundreds of new Chevrolets at super low prices. You're going to pay less than Palm pays. No hassles, no negotiations. They got a wonderful sales staff down there, and you can even get no payments for 90 days. And only Palm Chevrolet of Ocala gives you 2 full years of free maintenance on any new Chevrolet or certified vehicle. And you can get to Palm Chevrolet right here on Highway 200. It's 2300 Southwest College Road in beautiful Ocala, or you can give them a call at 629-8011. And our sponsor also is Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, and it's time to get to Bob Wine's because they're having a summertime clearance sale. Everything has been marked down drastically. They have a lot of bargains going on. However, they will be closed Friday for the 4th of July and the 4th of July weekend, but then they'll open up again on Monday. And Bob Wine's, they're overstocked. They're slashing prices. You need to get down there. They have a lot of good things going on at Bob Wine's, and they're easy to find. They're located at 2610 Southeast 38th Street in beautiful Ocala, and you can contact them at area code 352-629-5766. Now, on the bright side, we have a lot going on this weekend. We have some guests here at the radio that we're going to introduce here shortly, but we've got so much going on in Ocala for the 4th of July, and this is the biggest holiday in our country, and as we celebrate our independence. And most of us veterans, you know, we've been to a lot of other countries, and you know, we talk about our own country sometimes, and we have things going wrong, and you know, we're far from perfect. But if you've been in other countries, you can see how wonderful it is and how blessed we are to live in a country like our wonderful United States of America here. And the cost of our freedom has been great. And, you know, thanks to our veterans and our military people, that freedom continues, and we can get to celebrate these holidays like the 4th of July. A couple real special things going on at the Circle Square Cultural Center, okay, which is located at 8395 Southwest 80th Street. If you went out there to the nursing home deal that we had a couple weeks ago, that was in the field right across the street, the proposed site of the new nursing home. Circle Square Commons is right across the street. Now, general admission is $19, and the Ocala Symphony Orchestra is going to perform. Now, I haven't got to hear them yet. Have you, Larry?
Oh, yes, yes.
But I hear great reviews. So, you know, and this is their 2nd annual Red, White, and Blue. It's a salute to our troops. So if you could make it out there, do so. And again, general admission is $19. And before I introduce our guest, I'd also like to promote our charity event that we've got going on, and mark this on your calendars now. Friday, September 12th, okay, at the Ewer Center, the Ocala Marion County Realtors Association are doing a charity event, and Interfaith Emergency Services and Marion County Veterans Helping Veterans, which is us, is going to benefit by that charity event. They got a lot of great things going on. We should have flyers available soon. If you want information on this, tickets are available for a $15 donation. If you need information on the tickets, contact Darlene Yance, area code 352-629-2415, or you can go online, Darlene, all small letters, at omcar.com. And if you can't make the event and you want to support it anyway, contact us for a flyer, and you can do a chair and put some stuff in it. It's about chairs, but it really helps a lot of people, and we look forward to your support in this and other things that we have going on in the county. And check the Star Banner today and tomorrow, because we have a lot of stuff going on in our beautiful Ocala celebrating the nation's independence. I'd like to just take a minute to introduce Miranda of the Ocala JCs, and she's got a lot of good information for you, so I don't want to take too much away from her time, and I'll let her take over from here. Miranda, you want to tell us about the Ocala JCs and what you got going on?
Yeah, we're doing our God and Country Day event starting tomorrow. It's going to start at 1 o'clock, and we have fireworks at 8:30. There's going to be a lot of games, and we have bounce houses. The Shane Wooten Band is going to be playing. They're going to have fireworks, a lot of local food vendors and crafters.
The weather. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. Yes, we're going to have a good time tomorrow. And again, we have to thank the JCs for being able to pull this off. It's not easy, as we discussed yesterday, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Miranda, until I met you this morning, I didn't know anything at all about the Ocala JCs. Can you give us a brief history of what it is you do and what kind of folks you target to help you out and who you help out? And
Yeah, the Ocala JCs started in Ocala, or here, it was December 11th, 1937, and so we've been here for a while, and it targets citizens 18 to 40 and that want to be active and help out the community, and we teach them good leadership skills, help them build relations with the public officials, and teach them, professionalism and how to write resumes, how to handle business interviews, and help them step out of their comfort zone with things if they're not good with public speaking or with writing. And it's a really helpful organization.
I can't think of nothing better than that has, young adults teaching other young adults leadership skills and things like that. You sure don't see a whole lot of that lately, so it's so refreshing. What other kind of stuff do you do? What kind of events do you have? You do stuff all year, I assume, right?
The Ocala chapter isn't as active as it used to be. We have 3 major events that we do, which is God and Country Day, and then we have our haunted house that used to be at Silver Springs, and then last year was at Wayne's World. And we do a Christmas shopping tour every year where we take kids from families, that wouldn't have a really great Christmas otherwise, and we take them out Christmas shopping.
That is just awesome. Mm-hmm. And I understand from talking to you that you don't have a place of your own right now?
No, not like a meeting building right now, no.
Are you looking probably for somebody to donate space so you could have a place that you could meet regularly?
Yeah, we were looking into, we used to have it over at Brick City Park, so we were going to try to talk to them again and maybe work it out to where we can use one of the buildings over there for like once or twice a month, and then in exchange we can go out there and help clean up the park and everything.
Okay, do you usually meet indoors?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing.
It's too hot to have a whole group of people just sitting outside.
How many people do you have involved in the Ocala JCs?
Right now, as far as members, we have 11, and then we have some senators and past members that have aged out past 40 that come out and help us out.
Well, now that we have this airtime available, if you want to recruit people, if you want to go ahead and put out some information of who they could get a hold of, I know personally, I'm glad you gave me that little pamphlet. I know a lot of young people in their late teens and stuff that I'm going to go ahead and try to get involved in these activities because I think it's great, especially the leadership aspect. So, how would a person between 18 and 40 get involved in this?
We have a Facebook community page. It's Ocala JCs-JCI Ocala, and they can contact us that way, or you can contact, Mary Osceola is our chapter president this year, and you can contact her on Facebook or myself. So my cell phone number has been all over the Star Banner this week, so you can call that too.
Oh, you might as well go ahead and give it while you get a chance here now.
352-426-5971.
Okay, there's a lot of veterans group listening to this broadcast, or I hope there is. This is Veterans News Hour. If you got a space in Ocala, we got a lot of VFWs, we got American Legions and things like that. If these young people need a space to gather, if you could give that phone number down one more time.
It's 352-426-5971.
You can contact Miranda and let her know you got a place for them to meet. Heck, this country, needs young leadership. You know, we have some aging leadership going on, and sometimes it doesn't do too good, but you got young folks like this that are ready to get out there and get them. You know, I'm excited about it. You know, I just found out about it today, and I'm really excited. So definitely support this, and it's something good and positive for our young folks to do. You know, we're always complaining about, especially us older folks, complaining about the younger generation, but here the younger generation is getting out and learning leadership, and they're teaching each other. I just think that's a fabulous thing. Larry, I guess we got a few minutes. We got, what, 5 minutes or so?
We got about 10 minutes.
We can talk about the 4th of July and what it means, and what a great holiday it is, isn't it?
I would say it's a reminder of why we are free and how we came to be free, and the connection between what veterans have given us and the fact that we are free is you can't understate that. That's a hugely important thing to remember.
And when those folks that signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th of 1776, they were taking a big risk, weren't they?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The whole idea was that we're going to do this whether they kill us or not. We're going to do it. Yeah. And, they all knew that their lives were on the line by putting their names on that document.
And by declaring our freedom, before we became a nation, we had 13 colonies, but we were governed by Great Britain. Now, if we have British folks listening, don't take offense. I love the British folks, and I've been to Britain, and they have a wonderful way of life. But, basically, we just wanted our own. We wanted our own freedoms, and we've been that way ever since. And and like I mentioned earlier, we have our problems. We're not a perfect government. We're not a perfect system. But most veterans have been to a lot of different countries. And I can say this, and I know, Don, you've been all over the place. Have you ever seen a place that's as good to live as the United States?
I don't think so. I've been to quite a few countries, and some of my exploits in those countries have been a little bit bitter, as far as war and stuff like that. But and we've got to look at what our veterans from 1775 on, what they paid. Like we were speaking about our leaders at that time, the Declarations of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and everything else like that. It cost them because they had to pay when they were arrested by the British. And they were in prison. Their lands were taken from them. Some of them were executed and whatever. So that situation doesn't exist today.
No, when they signed that, we basically had a government on the run.
That's right,
didn't we?
Yeah.
They could have been shot. They could have been hanged. And of course, all our military services, except the Air Force, started around, and the Coast Guard started around that time. And, talk about having to supply your own needs. Soldiers had to have their own weapons. They had to stay in people's houses. Nothing was furnished. Our government was just getting started, and we had a lot of work to do. So not only was it at a cost of human life, but whatever personal wealth that these people had in 1776, they were willing to give up for this great freedom that we share today. And I think we owe them a great debt of gratitude.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we don't pay attention to how long it took to fight that war and for independence. And 1775 to I think the 1790s, when it finally was over, it was like 8 years that they participated in this, and they had to, there's an old saying in the South called "root hog or die." That means that if you didn't get out and work for it, you didn't get it.
And I was in Britain in the 70s, and they still referred to us as the colonies.
They still do.
I know.
I was over there.
I know they meant it well. What I'd like to say for this 4th of July, on behalf of veterans, we have a lot of patriotic holidays here in the country. And what I'm afraid is happening, myself included, I'm just as guilty as anybody else, but we think about the family time. We think about the picnics, the hot dogs and the hamburgers and the cake and stuff like that. But a lot of times we're so wrapped up in that we don't think of what we're really celebrating. And we have days like Flag Day, we have Memorial Day, and it's okay to have fun and it's okay to have a picnic, but I think we really, really need to reflect. Just take a few minutes and share these traditions with the family. Especially the young people. That's why I'm so glad to see people like these young ladies here in the JCs that remind folks of this. What the holiday is all about. It's not just about hot dogs and hamburgers and firecrackers and a car race at Daytona. It means a whole lot more.
The use of fireworks on the 4th of July, it's important to remember too, because the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, those lines from the national anthem remind us of what was actually happening. And this wasn't the Revolutionary War that these words were written, but it reminds us of that. And every once in a while, there will be somebody who starts a campaign to change our national anthem because they feel like the Star Spangled Banner is like a battle song, and they don't want us to be a country that has a battle song as a national anthem. And I say, well, it's not about fighting; it's about fighting back. That whole battle, any of our battles in the past, have always been about defending ourselves. And so that rocket red glare that you'll see tomorrow night, that we remember with the fireworks that the JCs are going to put on, that's why we have that, so that we remember what that was like.
Yeah,
and not only did we declare our own independence, but ever since I can remember, the United States has been willing to sacrifice to get people who aren't free the freedom that they need and give them a lot of help. I can't think of how many nations that that we've assisted in this that weren't free, and not only militarily wise, but politically. Remember back as late as the 70s when that terrible Berlin Wall was up, and Ronald Reagan was out there saying, tear that wall down, and I actually got to see that wall, and it's gone now. Mm-hmm. So the United States has been in the forefront ever since 1776, and I hope the Lord God keeps us keeping on and to help other people and to share freedom, because freedom is a wonderful gift, but it came at a terrible cost.
But the gift of that time and efforts was the Constitution of the United States.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In other words, a document that is so respected in all nations, and we have been the most generous nation from the time we started, the War of 1812. In other words, that was the first time America was ever invaded. You know that?
Yes, it was.
And it was invaded by the British again, and they burnt Washington, D.C. and those areas. And I know from my history in the Marine Corps, the only building, federal building that was survived the burning was a home, not the home, but the quarters of the Commandant of the Marine Corps, and so that was fortunate.
Well, thank God we're friends with the British now, and we love the British, so we don't want no British listeners to be offended, but, we're glad to be free, and we're glad to live in a country that's free, where we can speak our mind and have that freedom, to do what we want to do, and we've got to do it wisely.
Very good. We got about another minute and a half, Gary, if you want to have some final words here.
Well, one thing I would like to say, in Ocala we're blessed. We have over 50,000 veterans here, which is a unique town, and it's developing around it and paying off, because I think we are getting that veterans home, and let's keep our fingers crossed for that.
Yeah,
I
keep
think we
supporting
are
that, definitely.
And and we want to thank those 50,000 plus out there for the generosity that they've shown to vets helping vets, with the support of the WOCA and all these and the community. It's the one thing that that's given us the opportunity to get the veterans home here,
Yes, it has. And veterans out there, if you're out there listening and you need help or you need some kind of assistance, we are Veterans Helping Veterans. We're located at 1527 Northeast 8th Avenue, and our office is open Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon if you want to come and see it or just have a cup of coffee and talk to somebody. And you could reach us at area code 352-433-2320. God bless all you veterans, and thank you for listening. And have a great 4th of July weekend.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. All right, we'll be right back.
The mountains, to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. June jobs numbers are out. Unemployment has dropped to 6.1% from 6.3%. 288,000 jobs are added. North Carolina is bracing for its first hurricane of the season. Arthur, a Category 1 storm, currently packing sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. FEMA says don't ignore the warning.